of you sees finance as a force for good? Who of you, when I mention professions such as banker, investment advisor, or portfolio managers, have a positive image in your head? The same as if I would mention doctor, teacher, or ecologist. Have you ever thought why? Nowadays, in the year 2020, there are 25,000 licensed banks, and the assets constitute 150 trillions US dollars. This is twice as large as the total global annual GDP. So, since the financial crisis 2008, I started to search on how can we use finance as a force for good. At the time, I was studying traditional banking and finance at the University of Zurich, and I was so overwhelmed by the negative impact on millions of people that finance caused. And the worse, I was not getting answers or provided with knowledge about how can we transform finance and create positive impact on people and environment instead of just caring about profits and investment return. You know, before financial crisis, my dream was being independent and working at a top bank on a top location in Switzerland on Paradeplatz. The crisis added to this vision, working at a sustainable bank. And here I was, on Paradeplatz, working at the most sustainable Swiss private bank, which unfortunately at the time when I was working there, used sustainability more as marketing tool and didn't prove with actions true nature of sustainability. When I think back, the most frustrating of my career as banker was that I was never ever being able to say, I'm a banker with pride and dignity. It was more of like, I'm a banker, yes, but I also do good things. I don't know how many of my ex-bankers colleagues have such feeling. Today, the financial sector employs 6.5 million workers worldwide. In 2007, before financial crisis, it was 8.4 million workers. My talk today will be about that. About giving back the pride to the people engaged with finance, as it can create enormous and essential positive impact. Finance is a huge force which can either support or destroy millions of lives. I'm going to talk about its positive side, called impact investing. In simple words explained, impact investing is investing in businesses which, beside financial return, create measurable, positive social and environmental impact. But how it's even possible? When I talk to my friends about this approach in America or Russia, they were completely skeptical about it. What? You do business and do good at the same time? Because usually you make a lot of money and then donate part of it, depending on your generosity, to some charitable cause. And so basically, the most businesses around the world today are constructed based on this simple model. Maximize profit and squeeze people and don't take environment into consideration on the way. And a little part of the profit which is generated can go back to people which might be starving or have no access to schools or health care, or we might try to save some animals, tropical forests, by donating. Again, depending on generosity and consciousness development of the person, the amount will be different. How crazy is that? My ex-chef actually was laughing me out. You, Svetlana, with your impact investing, we need more clients, profitable investments, and generate more commissions to get great bonuses. So when I discovered impact investing for myself, I wanted to share it with the whole world, independently of profession, because it is possible to do business with return and do good at the same time. It is actually in its nature to incorporate our planet, where we live, and people which are around us into the business equation and generate true return, which would result, of course, in the profit not only for shareholders, but stakeholders involved in it. However, this positive side of finance is not yet known to the most of people, and they might confuse it with sustainable investing. So the real meaning of impact investment remains unknown. So I'm going to talk about three challenges of impact investing in becoming the new normal around the world, and to positively impact hundreds of millions of lives and save our planet. And as a side effect, which is quite big, finance people would find a fulfilling meaning in their professions. The first challenge is awareness. You might never ever heard about impact investing before. And it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter in which country you are living in. It doesn't matter if you are a doctor, IT specialist, business owner, consultant, or a banker. I was one myself, and I didn't know about it because nobody around, not at my university, not at the financial institutions I worked in, was talking about it. So how did I learn about it? I would say by a strong intention to figure out how to do good with finance, and conviction that every profession generates impact, good or bad. So why not finance? At the time I was working at the family office who managed 3 commodity funds. And you know, mining industry is not one of the most sustainable ones. But one of our creative portfolio managers has seen that sustainability is gaining momentum and wanted to create a unique sustainable mining fund to get more clients on board. And this is how I ended up with writing my thesis on the topic commodity stocks, responsibility and performance. So basically to show scientifically that the sustainable mining and metals companies are actually also generating more return in the long term, which gives a good reason to choose this fund. When I was doing my research, however, I was crying a few times. Why? I've seen how many mining companies are destroying, polluting, poisoning our beautiful planet. How many people in rural areas are suffering. And this made my will to do good with finance even stronger. And this is how I discovered all the terms such as responsible, sustainable, and impact investing, and started to educate myself on this topic. It was completely clear for me that I only want to work for a sustainable financial institution. But this brought me to the second challenge, which is lack of accessible education in impact investing. Where to learn about impact investing and how to do it if nobody around what it is? How is it different to sustainable investing? Where to find projects? Where to find funds where can I invest in? How to measure impact? And again, I want to underline the word accessible, because the prices to learn about this beautiful topic were and are still biting. Just 3 years ago, there were only few expensive programs which would completely turn you off if you would need to pay it out of your own pocket. Unless you are from a wealthy family, CEO of a great company, or a banker who was either sent by a bank to learn about this rather new topic, then you would land in such program. And I was more of a crazy exception who went there on my own. And my money that I was earning at the bank at that time was spent on going on expensive conferences about impact investing, educating myself on this topic, supporting my mom. And when I came back from one of those programs, it clicked. How can something so obvious, like considering environment and people in the business, be so inaccessible in terms of education, opportunities to get engaged and to invest? How comes that you want to create an impact around the world, but this good finance is still acceptable for a few and nobody else around is aware of it? So this led me to the third challenge, which rather for poor bankers like me, and you wouldn't be facing it otherwise. Because once you know there is impact investing in this world, you learned about it from different angles, and you're blown up by the whole idea. You want to get involved, you want to apply your financial skills and work in this field, and you want to invest. You want to help with your $100 or $1,000, cleaning up the oceans, building houses and roads out of waste plastic, produce vegan burgers, improve health, sanitation, and education systems in various communities, or save tropical forests, invest in innovative energy sources, act for climate change. But typical minimum investment size in impact investing is around 250,000 US dollars. And rarely you will find a fund where the entry is $100,000. And there are only few opportunities for retail investors which you can find. And that's not all. You think the expensive educational program will provide you a VIP ticket to get a job in this sector. You would be very surprised. After having applied for impact investing related companies in Switzerland, all of them, barely all of them, and some abroad, I haven't fit into one of the black boxes of HR. My right hand was sticking out with 5 languages that I speak. My left hand was sticking out with Russian background, I might think. My head was talking too direct and too honest that I actually didn't have impact investing experience before. And of course, my motivation was sticking out from all the sides of the box. So I gave up on expectation being welcomed with a huge hug and smile in the industry as a like-minded. And I established a non-profit organization with a mission to tackle all these 3 challenges. I started teaching about impact investing to public, raising awareness by speaking about this topic in various events, and I created a platform where projects can find investors and vice versa, and people can engage and change, transform their careers into impact investing. So why these 3 challenges? Just to remind you: lack of awareness, lack of accessible education, few accessible impact investing opportunities for small investors, and very difficult to get a job in this sector. In spite of governments getting involved into putting sustainable policies in place, still there is a huge gap between traditional finance investment for profit, right, and impact investment. Only a tiny 800 billion US dollars, which is 0.7% of global assets, so less than 1%, we are talking here about 0.7% of global assets are allocated in impact investing. Nowadays, due to such global events like COVID-19, of course, climate change, awareness about impact investing and its acceptance as not just a trend, but a long-term direction in finance dramatically increased. People are becoming more aware about sustainable development goals defined by United Nations, which are basically the framework and themes for impact investing. As by investing with impact, we have an underlying mission to solve one or several sustainable development goals. And this is what differentiates impact investing from sustainable investing. A short explanation: sustainable investing, it's investments which incorporates ESG, or environmental, sustainable and governmental practices, and reduces like CO2 emissions, waste, or employs more women at top positions, but still it has profit at its core. And impact investing, compared to that, has an underlying mission, generates deep impact on people's lives, and transforms the whole industries. It's very innovative, because otherwise it wouldn't be possible to generate return and impact at the same time. So it's important to understand what is what in order to take the right actions. If you remember, there are currently around 6.5 million people in 25,000 banks, which manage 150 trillion US dollars in the financial sector nowadays. And I wish all of them to listen to this short TED Talk and take actions inside their financial institutions. Which actions? First, spread awareness about impact investing. Second, ask for education, or if you are at a top position, educate your own employees and clients. And the third, start investing in existing impact investing funds and projects. Finance can and should become the force for good, or it will cease to exist in the future. By taking actions and transforming impact investing to the new normal, we can achieve sustainable development goals and win the pride of being a financial guy or financial lady, which create a positive impact on our planet and communities. Thank you.